FIS Marathon Cup continues its journey. This is the competition where the best long-distance skiers in the world measure their strengths in a series of grueling events. We've arrived at the fourth of 10 races, and it's the Marcialonga in Italy, a 70-kilometre long chase from Modena to Cavalese, that provides the next challenge. This is, together with the Swedish Vasaloppet, the most prestigious long-distance race in the world, and one of the more beautiful things about these races is the fact that it isn't just for the elite. 6,500 cross-country skiers were here to compete, and a quick look through the field reveals that even an old master like Björn Daly, one of the absolute best skiers of all time, is ready to give it a go.
I think I will be hopefully under 100, but I think it will be hard. Really hard.
Have you trained like the old days?
No, not at all. 10% of the old days. So, but it's nice to be here.
Well, one skier who definitely was aiming higher than top 100 was Sweden's Oskar Svärd, who is one of the strongest athletes on the tour. He's chased a triumph in the Marcialonga for 7 years without success, but this year he was ready to finally put things right.
Yeah, I will try to do my best, and of course the goal is to stay up highest on the podium, but it's a lot of good skiers. We will see.
What is your race tactic today?
I hope it will be a fast race and we can try to push hard, and then I think the last uphill will be most important.
The uphill that Svärd is talking about is the famous final climb of Cascata that stretches over the last couple of kilometres all the way to the finish line. This is where the race will reach its climax, and the skiers will have to work incredibly hard just to make it up the hill. But first things first, as we check out the start. As the skiers are approaching the climb, three of the top names have broken free from the pack. Sweden's two fighters, Jerry Arlind and Oskar Svärd, and Norway's Jørgen Aukland. Both Aukland and Arlind have won the Marcialonga on 2 previous occasions, while Svärd is desperately fighting for his first victory here. As they start to climb, Czech Republic's Stanislav Riesak had almost bridged the gap to the trio, but the effort had cost him a lot of strength, and this ascent is not merciful to the weary.
Aline having a look over his shoulder, having a look for Riesak. Pushing hard. There we have the leading group. Jørgen Aukland back there as well, Anders' brother of course. Those three seem to be destined to share the medals here as they climb up Cascada. Tough climb near the end of this race. Svärd on the right in the red cap, number 4. It's a little tired. Aukland on the left, Jerry Aline in behind. Now he changes tactics, changes lines, as does Svärd as well. A little bit of slick streaming.
And as they were fighting their way along the narrow streets of Cavalese, Svärd remarkably found an extra gear and pulled away.
Svärd is going for it now. Aline, can he keep up with them? He's trying to find the best track, the best line. Oskar Svärd at the moment. We know Aline is strong. Oskar Svärd, he's got this one. Jerry Aline too slow through the line. First victory for Oskar Svärd. Marcialonga is his for 2010.
Well, Oskar Svärd proved to be too strong for the others today. He was the hungriest for the victory here, and he claimed it. His special training to cope with the final climb of Cascata had well and truly paid off. So no wonder that it was a pleased Swede savouring victory in the winner's enclosure.
I have been in very good shape the month, and looking forward for this race, but it's a lot of good skiers, so you never know. But I have really focused on Marcialonga this year. I will try to win it, and now I'm there what I want to be. It was a tough race, and there was a lot of skiers in the first group, but then when we come to Molina, we tried to push really hard, and then we got a gap.
Oscar Svärd is without doubt one of the strongest long-distance cross-country skiers in the world, and he also tops the rankings of the FIS Marathon Cup so far.
Gustav Vasa is one of the most famous kings in Swedish history. Many tales are told about the legendary king's adventures in the 14th century. One of those stories is about how Gustav Vasa skied 90 kilometres in his escape to Norway in 1521. This was before he gained control over the throne, and it was an important step for him to get the chance to mobilise the strength needed to become the King of Sweden. Today, Gustav Vasa still holds an important role in Swedish history, even though it's doubted how truthful many of the stories may be. In celebration of the king, the marathon skiing race Vasaloppet was instituted in 1922, and today it is one of the biggest skiing races in the world. A record 15,702 cross-country skiers gathered in the small Swedish town of Sälen to ski the 90 kilometres to Mora. And as you can imagine, most of them were here for the experience rather than the fight for the top spots. A long race like this usually contains a lot of attempts to break free from the group, and quite early in the race, 8 skiers got away from the rest.
And Suter does take it, as predicted, 10,000 crowns in the pocket for the Swede. And there's the chasing bunch in behind.
Just as the group is about to catch them, one of the favourites, Stanislav Rizak from the Czech Republic, increased the pace.
Suter's going to have to work hard to make it to sprint prizes. Rizak looks in control. Suter just happy to sit in behind. Rizak pushing away. And they've got a bit of a gap. You see the rest of them rounding the bend. Evertsberg, 46 Ks. 1K past halfway stage of this race. And the man from the Czech Republic is a little richer as he goes through in 2 hours, 7 minutes and 23 seconds.
These days, women in the tracks aren't an unusual sight, but it hasn't always been like that. The first woman, Margit Nordin, completed the race in 1923. But after that race, women were banned from participating. They were considered too weak to handle the 90 kilometres, and it wasn't until 1981 before women were allowed to take part again. Sweden's Sandra Hansson has won the women's competition 2 years in a row, and she was looking good for a 3rd straight victory. But as the race gets closer to the finishing line, home skier Susanne Nyström is starting to catch up.
Nyström is really starting to eat her way through the field. That's the men's field I'm talking about. And she's eating away at Hansson's time as well. Let's get a clock on it here, the difference. Certainly is declining, that's for sure. 1:16 behind Hansson, the Norwegian, and the lady from Mora. She's heading towards Mora very quickly right now. Makes her way past the Blueberry drink stations and pushes even harder.
After around 70 kilometres in the men's competition, 3-time Vasaloppet winner Daniel Tunnel has taken command. Using his powerful upper body, he tried to pull away from the others. And pretty soon, only 3 skiers could keep up with the strong Swede. Tunnel's countryman Jørgen Brink, Norway's Jørgen Auckland, and Rizak from the Czech Republic. they were approaching the finish line in order, the stage was set for an all-Swedish affair. Ternell versus the relatively inexperienced Brink.
Ternell looks very strong. We know he's got a super finish. To the right is Auckland. In behind him, Rishak. In behind Ternell. Is he going to change his lanes? Is he going to jump over? That is Jürgen Brink. Sweden, Norway, and the Czech Republic. Still Ternell. Here's Brink making a move. Mora, 90 Ks. The finish line just ahead. Man for man, there it is. 30, 40 meters. Brink against Ternell. Brink looks as though he might be in front. He's pushing very, very hard, the Swede. He's going to beat Ternell. This is a big surprise as he takes the victory in just over 4 hours.
For many years it has been the same names fighting for the podium positions, and now a new name is up there. But he isn't by any means a spring chicken. Brink is 35 years old and has 3 cross-country World Championship bronze medals around his neck. This season he started out trying to make the Swedish Olympic team in biathlon, but when that didn't happen, he switched focus towards Vasaloppet. A cold disturbed his preparation, so of course he was very satisfied with the win.
Yeah, in Sweden it is the biggest, except for Olympics and World Championships, so it's really, really big.
Just as Brink is celebrating in the finishing area, the women's race is about to come to a climax. Sandra Hansson has been caught by Susan Nyström, who is now looking much stronger than her opponent.
There we have Nyström. And there we see last year's champion, Sandra Hansson, working very hard. She looks as though she's pretty naked. The victory is going to go to Susan Nyström. The home girl skiing to victory in front of the home fans. A wonderful effort. She came from behind. Remember, at Herkberg, she was about a minute behind, but she's done enough and won it in 4 hours 33.07.
A fantastic victory for the home skier Nyström, who in the end could march to a clear victory ahead of a tied Sandra Hansson. To win this race for a girl from Mora is perhaps the biggest high you can achieve.
I'm very happy, very, very happy and tired. It goes up and down all the way, but you have to think positive and just keep focused on the goal, and I think that's the way it is for everybody. So I wasn't concerned about it.
A wonderful day of skiing in Sweden is over, and 14,934 out of the 15,702 starting skiers managed to make it all the way to the end. A strong performance from everybody in the field, and for many of them it was the challenge of a lifetime.